Merry Christmas Eve, Gulls fans. We are back with episode 2 of the 25 for 25 podcast. So happy to be here again. My name is Eric Lindley, and I am joined by my old boss, Mike Falcone, previous director of baseball ops for the Newport Gulls. Mike, how you doing today?
Doing good. Nice to be back in the nest here.
Yeah.
Always great to be back. And anytime you're in Newport, and especially around blue and orange Gulls colors, it's great to be there.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I mean, we had to get you on here at some point. You can't have, the man Mike Falcone himself not on the pod. But yeah, you've been up to a lot since, the departure from Newport around this time last year. I think it's a good place to start, just update, the Gulls fans and the Gulls faithful on where Mr. Mike Falcone has been.
Cool. Yeah, it was actually because how the doctors and the medical work here, my doctor at least, I have to go 1 year and 1 day from my appointments. So today I just came from the doctor here, Brown Health. Still a supporter of
well, hopefully, yeah. We're in talks with them.
Great support.
Absolutely, the Frederick Henry Prince Memorial Grant.
Yeah, great group of supporters there. But no, so I know it was 1 year and a day. I met with the group here. I had a great opportunity, to advance in my personal and professional career. Loved every second of being with the Newport Gulls. Those are about a decade of my life. And then got an opportunity through a connection that I made through the Newport Gulls to head out to Europe, specifically Belgium, and join a professional football club out there.
That's awesome.
In the second ranks of professional football in Belgium. And it's been really eye-opening. I've learned a ton each and every day. I learn a ton, but all go back on opportunities that I got here in Newport, all things that we dealt with. We were just talking, before. It's just everything you do with the Gulls and everything you do in the community and everything you do operationally is just on a little bit bigger scale there. So it's been a fun year for sure, and awesome. Somewhere where I did not think I would be when I was doing all of this this fun stuff, and you guys just got back from the MLK Center.
Had a nice time over there, giving out some toys to the kids right before the holidays. It's always a great time. Obviously you had a big hand of it over the past, like you said, decade while you were here, right? Always going to the local MLK Center down here in Newport, Lucy's Hearth, Child and Family, the YMCA, Salvation Army. It's just always great, so great because. I talked about it a lot in the first podcast, right? But the Gulls, they're so much more than a baseball team. It's a community platform of just this family culture, and to be able to give back to our supporters who are obviously our biggest fans, but the people who support us the most, to allow us to be the organization we are today. It's just so it's such a blessing to be able to give back to the community that way.
Absolutely, and this time of year, especially, and the Gulls is the community here in Newport. Right. The Gulls are ingrained, and your supporters, the host families, the interns, everybody. Yep. I mean, you can't do it without the community. So the ability to, because that's, as a nonprofit organization, you rely on the support of others. So when you have the opportunity to give back and make the same type of positive benefits and benefit to others during this time of year, it's just, there's no better feeling.
No, there's nothing better, especially like you said, towards the holidays. It's the best time of year to do it.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. So, just going back a little bit, right, obviously in your new pursuits with, RFC Liège, that's the football club in Belgium you're with.
Yep.
What's your official title? What's like a day-to-day for you over there right now?
So I'm on the commercial operations side of things, been doing commercial strategy there. I arrived in January, and in a general day or a specific day over there is similar to over here. You never know exactly what the day is going to bring, but it really is, and I think sports in general is very similar, where you're working on a big project.
Right.
Every season is a new project. You're working towards goals that last past the season, but every year you're working towards that that sort of project. So it's a step-by-step process of achieving the goal this year, which is just enhancing our fan experience, enhancing our overall operations and efficiencies from the commercial side of things. And when I got there in January, I had to learn a lot of not only the professional football culture, but the culture of Belgium, culture of Europe, and they speak French over there.
They'll learn to speak French.
Yep. J'étudie français, parler français, un petit peu. Still a little bit of French, still a little bit of work to go, but still learning a lot of just the operational, just the community sense, because Liège is it's on the eastern side of Belgium, so a little bit about 45 minutes, 50 minutes east of Brussels, which is the capital, heading towards Germany, and it is so eerily similar to Newport as a community. It's very much a village over there in Belgium. There's two national languages, which is French and Dutch. Yeah. So we're in the French-speaking part of it, and they very much stick together there as a very tight-knit community. I'm not sure. Please, we'll have to look this up, or you'll have to look it up afterwards on the population number. But the city, to me, is very, very similar to Providence, so it's somewhat comfortable in that sense. But it's very much a tight-knit community in Liège. The supporters, it's the fourth oldest team in Belgian football in general. So a lot of historic ties similar to Newport. Just continuing to learn a lot of the history. I mean, that's what I had to do here with Newport. That's anytime you join a new organization and an organization that also has that level of history, that level of community involvement and supporters. So, just was trying to learn a lot about that. My first, couple months there, just cataloging a lot of what was transpiring, and then similar. It's the break in between the first half of the season and the second half right now. So we're just doing a review similar to what the Gulls do and similar to what we did here of ticketing, the fans coming, food and beverage, sponsorship, how are all of our deliverables, how are we doing on socials, how are we doing, when we post this type of content, what happens. So, a lot of different parts of the operation, and every day, just learning more and more. So that's and then watching a lot of soccer. Watching a lot of soccer.
No, it's so awesome to see you flourishing over there. We're all so excited over here that you have that opportunity now, because you're so near and dear to us still to this day, as part of the Gulls organization. So to see you continue to push yourself and continue to grow inside of the sports community and still just, reach even higher heights every day is just absolutely fantastic. That's awesome.
It's
absolutely.
Raise the bar.
Exactly.
Raise the bar.
Never not raising it.
No, always. And I fortunately was able to come to some games this past summer. I'll never not be a Gull. I'll never not be. I mean, that's just anybody who comes and even they play 2 games for the Gulls, or you intern for a couple of years and then you become the director of baseball operations. Right. You're always once a Gull, always a Gull. So
absolutely. A
lot of that giving back mentality, which is what the Gulls have always based their operation on, is and continues to flourish now, because you have kids who went to summer camp or did the reading program, are now owning businesses or are the head of marketing and community relations for some of the local businesses here that are now giving back and helping support this operation. So it's definitely a full circle type of thing, and that's something that I always stick back on or think back on and try to implement over there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome. I like how you bring up the full circle moment stuff too, right? Because we're even seeing that now on the intern side of things as well as the player side of things. I look back and I think of our NECBL All-Star broadcaster last year for the South Division, Gavin Bisho. He was one of these individuals who went to our summer camps when he was a kid, and now he's, last summer, he's our lead play-by-play guy. And then I look at a guy this year, John Mass from Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Also
coming to play?
Yeah, he is. He's going to be a pitcher on the Gulls this summer, so it's going to be super exciting. But this is another kid who went to our Gulls summer camps when he was younger. And, it's so cool to see, like you said, the full circle stuff come to fruition. It's just always, because it just reinstates that, full circle, tight-knit community, feeling.
That's what you want. I mean, that you want to inspire the younger generation. You want to, you want to inspire the older generation too, potentially. But when you do the nights, your military night, your American Heroes night, I mean, even helping raise money, like you guys did so beautifully this past summer once again, for somebody who's in need, you're hoping that you can spark something, light a candle, light an idea in one of the 2,500 people, 3,000 people that are in the stands. You never know what impact that night is going to make on them.
Right.
So you just kind of you put your best foot forward at every moment, and you never know where a Gully appearance or giving a T-shirt to somebody is going to make a difference in somebody's life, because you don't know what anybody's going through in their own life, in their family life, however, and that could become a player, a coach, a sponsor, a host family, down the line. So it's all it's when we're growing up playing sports, it's who are you when nobody's watching.
Exactly.
And I think that the Gulls do a great job with that, always in the community, where you always are having positive things. I mean, now doing some more of the outreach and the sponsorship pieces. You walk into a business or you call a business, oh, the Gulls, oh yeah,
exactly.
Oh, yeah. I used to go. Whether that turns into a whatever deal you're trying to broker with them, whether it turns into something or not, you always have that great response,
exactly,
which makes things a heck of a lot easier.
Exactly.
Where
you feel like you're talking to one of your own family members.
Sure.
It's that simple, So it's so good to have those interactions, because they mean so much, as an organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to take a time machine back here a little bit. Even all the way back to 2016, which was your first year with the Gulls as an intern, if I'm correct there with the timing of that.
Yep.
Obviously attending Salve Regina University at the time. What was your first role with the Gulls and back in 2016?
So I'll take it. 2016, yeah, we could take it there. I will never forget the story. I tell the story all the time. As I was a senior in college at Salve Regina, I was an accounting major. Mm-hmm. I was doing an internship with Northwestern Mutual, which I'm sure a lot of folks have done or know people who have done that internship. Pretty cutthroat opportunity there, but something that molds you and helps you if you just with anything. If you do it to the best of your ability, you'll get a lot out of it. But I was doing that, and I just remember I would go to McKillop Library almost every morning, and I was applying to any job I saw online in sports.
Yep.
Because I didn't think accounting was going to be my long-term path. So I was just applying. And nothing back. Never got anything. And it's springtime. It was like a rainy-ish day. I was living at the corner of Thames and Cary, and Big Greenhouse near Winter at the time was down that way. And got a call from Nick Lima, Tom Lima's brother, who's Tom is still with the organization, and just said, "Hey, are you interested in interning for the Newport Gulls?" And I was like, what the heck is that? I knew who the Gulls were. My mom got me a Gulls T-shirt on my accepted students day. So I had a Gulls T-shirt. Yeah,
and that was before you even started out as an intern.
That was 2012 or something like that. I had a Newport Gulls. Yeah, wow. I wonder if I still have. I have to have that shirt somewhere. Maybe it's, I don't know. But that was so I had that shirt for forever. Yeah. But I had applied to the league office where you probably still get the. When somebody applies on the NECBL.
Yep, any team, NECBL league office, communication, stuff
and
like that.
And you put in who would you work for? I probably put in the Gulls, the ones who may not be named over the bridge. No. We don't talk about them. And I probably put in a few other ones. And, so I was kind of confused when I got the call. And then they go, okay. I was like, awesome, yeah, absolutely. How much money? Yeah, how much money? Because I had been working in New York City doing an internship for a big law firm, Paul Weiss, huge law firm. So I was very fortunate, very spoiled to have done an internship with them and was making, at the time, the minimum wage, like I don't even know what minimum wage is now, but minimum wage used to be like $7.25 or something ridiculous. Yeah, and I think we were making like double or something. It was wonderful. So shout out Paul Weiss for sure.
That's awesome.
And so Nick goes, unpaid internship. I go, all right, interesting. Then also, you know how times are changing where housing is like the biggest issue in Newport nowadays. It still was, 10 years ago, but it was like, okay, do you guys have housing? Because when you look at the Newport Gulls, you're like, this is the Yankees. This is the gold standard in not only NECBL but in summer collegiate, and everything you guys do, everything the Gulls do is gold standard, diamond level stuff. So whether it's an event or the players, in the news, the media, everything about it. So when you get a call to intern, you're like, this thing is going to be, but there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into that. There's a lot of moving pieces behind it, and you don't realize that, wow, this is a nonprofit organization. You don't realize that the gentlemen who own this team, who are all very successful in their own careers, don't take a cent from this thing.
Not a dime.
No, they put money in.
Exactly.
So you don't realize that when you're as a prospective intern, let alone intern. So needless to say, I was able to get a job at the Country Club, the Hotel Viking, maybe somewhere else. I was like bussing tables, split a house with 2 or 3 other guys that I didn't even really know from Salve Regina. Then we had our security. We had a security intern back in the day.
Heck yeah.
I'm sure you see the black. They had black polo shirts.
Yes.
Newport Gulls security. Yeah, we had a security intern. He was American. And his family was living in Singapore or something. They were coming back to Newport. Yeah, it was a funny thing. I'm still connected. And he's actually a big soccer fan. He likes Liverpool, which we won't talk about, but it's okay. So he was like crashing on our couch or something. It was an interesting summer. I was the ticketing director. So only till recently were the Gulls not cash only.
Right.
So I was in charge of making sure the tickets got from the office, not this office currently, but down at Admiral's Gate. Tickets got to the stadium every night. I would take all the ticket requests, make sure that all of our groups who were coming into the stadium had their tickets set up, whether it was a sponsor or community organization, player families, all of those operations. And yeah, really it was, I would do the daily accounting after every game, make sure I'm counting up all the money that came in, reconciling it with Nick Lima, and then making sure that I don't know if it's here, but my grandma gave me, or maybe it was my grandma's safe. Okay. Is the safe still here?
We do have a safe in here.
Yeah, but there's no. I think the key is inside of it. Yeah, so I brought for some reason I brought the lock, or I brought the safe, and I would put it in the office because I wasn't going to bring all the money home and all that stuff. So I would put all the money back and everything in the safe every night.
That's awesome.
And that was my role there as a newly 21-year-old. I was ready to do my 5th year at Salve Regina. So they have a great 5-year MBA program. I did that. I did 4 years undergrad and then was going into that. So I had that kind of buffer year almost. Right. I was returning, coming back to Newport for my 5th year. And yeah, I had a wonderful experience just being with the Gulls. I had a wonderful experience with Nick Lima, who was my boss at the time. You, as an intern, and you're always told, networking, all those things, Chuck and Chris and Greg and Martin, all those guys, we're always super nice and cordial with all the interns and very supportive. And if you ever had a question, they were always there for you. And I just knew that I wanted to be around those guys. I wanted to be around this organization. And similar to yourself, hey, is there anything I can do this fall? Is there anything? Because again, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And all you see is the championships and the packed house and all this great stuff, and you get that sense as an intern a lot more now, which is great. I think just depending on what your position is within the internship. But I just asked Chuck and Chris and Nick, hey, is there what can I do? And didn't get any responses and didn't know, because I think that nobody really knew. But then they were doing the Hall of Fame induction ceremony of 2016, and they said, hey, if you want to help out, get donation items and sell tickets and do this and that. And so I said, okay, absolutely, let's do it. Let's do it. So
absolutely,
that's why I stuck around, and then I helped organize that 2016 Newport Gulls Hall of Fame induction ceremony down at the Marriott, and so full circle. Yeah, this is 2016-ish. It was Thanksgiving actually. I remember Nick called me, and he goes, "Hey, so I'm gonna actually," because Nick, God love him, same with Tommy, just intelligent, brilliant people who know media inside and out, constructed what the Newport Gulls media is today, set the baseline for summer collegiate baseball.
Absolutely.
In the NECBL for sure. Countless all-star games, countless this and that. So those guys are amazing with media, but Nick is not and did not want to be a baseball operations director, where my love is definitely sports and baseball. And he got an opportunity, similar to myself, where he got an opportunity in Cranston government, and he said, "Hey, Mike, I have this opportunity to do this, but I'm going to tell Chuck and the guys, I'm going to recommend you for the position, if you're interested." And I said, "Absolutely, I'm interested." So I got off the phone, went golfing I was down on Long Island for Thanksgiving, went golfing with my buddy Ryan at Bethpage, not Bethpage Black, but we went golfing, and I'll just never forget that that happened. Then the next month or so was a similar situation to kind of we had last year, where it was just turning a lot of contacts over, turning a lot of information over, and then we ended up then I just was in this. Then they printed some business cards that said Director of Baseball Operations on it, and it's like, okay, now
it's real. There you go. It's you. Handed the organization over to Mike.
Okay, now what? Now what? Now what do we do? Oh, we're a nonprofit. Oh, we got to go get sponsorships. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's where we go next.
Enter the sponsorships and the operations side of things, right?
Yeah.
And I think obviously from being an intern, that transition you talk about, right? I think that's and for me, when I was experiencing this last year, that was the biggest part of it for me. As an intern, you have such a great opportunity to experience this organization in all of its facets, right? But now that you're in that position as one of the full year-round employees, how was that transition for you, and what did that really open your eyes to in terms of how much really goes into making this baseball team what it is, year-round?
Yeah, you as I've referenced, you don't realize how much goes into it.
Yeah.
So you can never fully prepare for it, but that just gives you such a great opportunity because you're just thrown into it. Right? You have to succeed. There's guidelines and buffers and meetings, of course. It's not, hey, September, I'll see you in May.
Exactly.
I'll see you in. But it just gives you a way to kind of do it your own way, put your own little spin on it. And for me, I saw sponsorships and I saw marketing as a great opportunity for the Gulls, where also you have to remember, we're doing a podcast now, but there was maybe 2 or 3 people doing podcasts back in 2016. And when you had social media there was social media, but I made a Facebook just so I could be an administrator of the Gulls Facebook. Exactly. So you're in a different world where it was just starting to get a little bit more explosive. We had and still have such a global presence with the Newport Gulls. Through the players, through the Navy base being here in Newport, that you have such a spotlight and people who know the Gulls all the time. So that was starting to pick up, and I just saw that as a real opportunity for the Gulls. I saw the amount of fans that were coming to the stadium. I saw the amount of love and passion that the community had for the Gulls. And I think I kind of ran with that idea and I ran with that mindset, and just having that, I guess, more creative sense or commercial drive towards things helped me analyze what we were currently doing. I mean, I think that first year was definitely challenging.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
But once I got through that first year of a lot of guidance from Chuck and Chris and everybody, I think then 2018 I was able to now I really knew, like, same thing for you. You know, but I mean you had a bigger role than I did as an intern. I mean, you were here every day, all the time. So you had a better sense. Still impossible to have a full sense of it. But I was going there on game day and then dropping everything off, and then I'll see you Monday. I was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was kind of like that part-time-ish. Yeah. So now I've really understood what the deal was. So then 2018, they kind of helped take. I was asked back, thank God.
Yeah.
They let me come back. And yeah, then the training wheels were kind of taken off a little bit, and got a little bit more freedom. Yeah. Got a little bit more opportunity to, or just not so much more freedom, just got more responsibility. Right. Things that the group of ownership had been doing a lot of themselves. Of course, I was never touching baseball. That's Chuck's got the roster.
Yes, sir. Chuck
and Chris got the roster. Those are the masterminds behind the rings. But yeah, I was just given a little bit more opportunity commercially, and just was able to start building on that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things that I think back to is just, I remember seeing pictures of Cardines, really in the early stages, and I think of the fences, right? And I think of the banners.
Yeah.
And I think of, there's maybe, 10, 15, 20 total in a summer.
Yeah.
And then here enters Mike Falcone, and then boom, from 2017 on, I mean, there's 70, 80 banners up there, all the time. So, just talk about how that drive really initiated inside of you to kind of, like you said, take this commercial aspect of this organization to a level A, it's never been before, and then B, making all those connections and those relationships with these individuals, right? Because it's just not, calling somebody up in an off season and asking them, hey, you guys want to give us some money?
No,
right? That's not what it is. It's all of those, where was the line, you drew in terms of, okay, this is a connection in terms of, like, I need to make this person my family. I need to make this person my best friend when I talk to them, so they understand how important this organization is to us, and that, relationship can be reciprocated amongst everybody.
Yeah. I guess when you're working with a nonprofit organization, when you're lurking, this is another conversation we had off air here. Yeah. Of kind of the corporate-ish world. Yep. And I was just getting into it. I was just getting into the world of business. And really what I saw, something very simple, is that the positivity we were able to create by giving back was supported by the supporters, was supported by the people who put a banner up. So if you're sponsoring at whatever number, or whatever the cost of that banner sponsorship was, I knew that if we got one more, two more, three more, we were able to donate more to this group. We were able to do more for the players in terms of maybe getting them a sweatshirt or something, so they didn't have to pay for it, or just be able to get the benefit. And I saw, and summer camp was probably the number one place that we looked first, is the ability to allow a lot of children from the Quinnipiac Island community and beyond to go to summer camp free of charge, through the support of donors, the support of sponsors. So that's really where, that's where the fuel was, I guess. I saw the good that it did for me as a person. The good, my family loves the Gulls. My mom would come up to game. My brother interned for us. Friends of mine, all those things. So, I was able to see what it did for me. So why wouldn't I want to put my best foot forward? Why wouldn't I want to have as many banners up there as possible. Right. And it was also another prideful thing for us is like we take a lot of pride in Cardines Field. You take a lot of pride in Newport, and you want it to look as beautiful as possible.
Absolutely.
So decorating it with so many wonderful businesses and so many wonderful organizations was not only a way to help raise the money, but it's also a way to help decorate and show all of the wonderful people who are helping fuel this, not just the Gulls, but fuel this community.
Yeah.
You have so many businesses up there that are represented, and it helps tell a little bit of a story.
Right.
Because I truly believe, and Newport is very unique, where you want to help those who are helping others. And if you see a restaurant, a real estate agent, a mortgage, this or that, like, I think it's a great way to see, okay, hey, these are the people I want to work with and I want to do business with. So I thought of it very much as a full circle, very much as a get out what you put in type of thing. And yeah, just ran and just sometimes didn't realize maybe we didn't have enough space for some folks, but we made it work. We always make it work.
So one thing I want to move to here real quick is, what the Gulls fans see every summer, right? They see the baseball team, they see the success, they see the 8-time NECBL league leading champions. But, in a fan perspective, that might be, getting all the excitement out in May, seeing our promotional calendar up, our pocket schedules around the island at some local businesses, and all that fun stuff. So, maybe it's, from May to about August, that first week of August when we kind of wrap up. Very limited, very temporary, but that's not the case when you're on the other side of it here. One of the main themes that I want this podcast to be about is, obviously kind of shining a light on, what happens behind the scenes here in Newport with this organization, because it's not a May to August thing, right? And as I'm sure, obviously, you have been so acclimated to these past, the prior 10 years you were here. How much of a year-round process is it really here in Newport every year? Yeah,
it's absolutely a year-round. I mean, you get a little bit of a breather. You're fortunate, unfortunately not this past year, to win another championship. I didn't, we didn't win a championship until year, I don't know, whatever that was, 6, 7, something like that. 2023. So my season ended a little bit earlier, but still not. You're done in August, that first week of August. Yep. But you still have so much to do, as we talked about in the beginning, where what I'm kind of doing now with a lot of the soccer is review, review, analyze. It's all fresh on your mind. What's good? What worked? What didn't work? Making sure that everybody who has supported you this whole time knows that you appreciate them, knows that you are thankful for them. Going through all of that, making sure that it's a month. It's basically a month of wrap up. I mean, you probably take, and I would it just so happened my birthday is in August, so I would go home to Long Island for a couple days there. And definitely take a breather. Everybody takes you need a breather once you get done.
Absolutely.
But then you're right back at it to just really wrapping that stuff up. So I mean, you're not done with the previous year until mid-October-ish, Halloween-ish. You're not done with doing all of your inventory and all your receivables and things
it's all those little
away.
Details,
Yep. So, okay, now you're at Halloween, let's say November 1st, and then we have 3 weeks till Thanksgiving. A lot of your bigger supporters, your bigger businesses, maybe regional type businesses, are doing a lot of their budgeting for the fourth quarter, for the first quarter. So you're trying to kind of wrap up a lot of those folks who need, whether they need invoices or they need proposals, or they need something. So you're kind of attacking a lot of that. As a nonprofit, something that I was fresh to and new for the Gulls was a lot of the grants and a lot of the charitable organizations who either need their reports done or submitted or what have you. So, I mean, that's what you're doing in November, December. You get into this Christmas time, that we're currently in, and then once you hit the ABCA convention, which you guys are going to Ohio this year?
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. Very, very exciting.
The
right?
wonderful world of Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, no, my first year I went to. I still have the voicemail that Chuck sent me on January 2nd or whatever it was. Going to I went to Anaheim, so that was my first year was Anaheim.
That's awesome.
Went to I don't know if it was the second year was Indianapolis, but Indianapolis was a cool place. Yeah. Indianapolis, Nashville. So I went to some cool ABCAs. Yeah. Not to Columbus, Ohio. But you kind of go to that. You do all your meetings with I mean, frankly, nobody's doing business around this time of year, January 1st. So you're chomping at the bits. I'm sure you are too. Like you're looking for things to do, but as a young professional, you don't know that. Nobody's really working around this time of year. So you do all your holiday stuff, and then you go to your league meetings. You go to that big convention, and you hear a lot of the big speakers, the Tim Corbins of the world, the Gavin Sullivans of the world. These huge coaches, these big, larger than life names who now know who you are because you're with the Newport Gulls. And you've been on email threads with them, or you're inviting them to the cocktail reception or something. And so you go to this event, and then it's the second week of January, and it's like, oh wow, we actually only have 4 months to.
It's like a flip gets switched immediately as soon as you come back, and then it's just a blur until the summer.
Then you're just exactly. Then you're interns because nonprofit organization. You're the only one who's here on a full-time basis. You're getting all of your new your spring interns who are now just back for their spring semester.
We're getting their feet wet and everything they're going to be working on in the spring, and then just getting everybody acclimated to say, hey, this is the process. And then we're reaching out to the game day sponsors, reaching out to every other sponsor, and then it just brick by brick building up towards the season. It's just it's crazy because I'll never say it enough. As soon as we come back, and as soon as January starts, we get through all the craziness of the new year. It's just a different level of just grind.
Yeah, no, it's full on, full throttle.
Yeah.
People may because it's a different structure, right? Yeah. Like it's a nonprofit. Like you're not trying to make millions of dollars here with this organization. You're just not.
Right.
And nonprofits like Lucy's Hearth, like MLK. I mean, any of nonprofits who are doing wonderful work in the community, whether it's in Rhode Island or throughout the country, throughout the world. That's how nonprofits are set up. Yeah. I mean, you're there to help others. You're there to benefit others. You're not there to make money. So a lot of those times it's one individual. In this case, it's the director of baseball operations who's wearing many hats, who's relying on interns and volunteers and others. And there's so much more time when you're wearing all these hats that you need to put in to achieve the level that the Gulls have come to be expected for, to achieve the level that, because honestly, I mean, and everybody in the NACBL does a wonderful job, but let's face it, there's
a certain standard here in Newport.
There's a certain standard, and you can roll a team out on June 1, whatever. Like you can. Host families are a little bit difficult, but you can find beds and roll a team out and put some banners up and have enough, have enough money to operate your team, and maybe you have some investors that have to write a check at the end of the year, something like that. But you can do it. It's just, why would you want to do it half-ass?
Exactly.
If you're going to do something,
do half measures.
No, do it. Like if you're putting your time and effort and your name on it, because at the end of the day, I mean, when you're becoming this, you're putting your professional resume together just like players are. Right. I mean, your name's on it. So I never wanted my name not to be tied with going 100 miles an hour, 100%. Same with you, same with Chris and Chuck and everybody here. Yeah. I mean, they whether it's with the Gulls or with their own businesses, you want to be as successful as possible.
Exactly.
And you want to do as great a job as possible. So you're gonna spend nights here until however late. You're gonna run around town and you're gonna put down pocket schedules and you're gonna put out the A-frames and you're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna do it because if it's not you, it's nobody.
Right.
And if it's nobody, then little Johnny, little Sarah, whoever,
Right.
doesn't get to go to summer camp because of you, doesn't get to go to a Gulls game because of you, there's just so many trickle downs to it. So,
and that's when I look at it internally, right? I think that's a big motivator for me, right? These fans, our Gulls family, they expect a certain standard of how we've done things over the past 25 years now, looking on to 2026.
Yeah, it's 25, yeah.
And it's, it's one of those things where it's like, if I can't do it for them, I'm letting the fans down, right? And I am beyond appreciative of every single fan that supports us year in, year out. And I need to do it for the fans. I need to make this Gulls product what it is and continue to stack on top of it, just like I said, brick by brick, just continue to create this product that is consumable by every Gulls fan who wants to, and that's just a big motivator for me. And then it's obviously the long nights, right? I always joke about, there's always a bed in that office, right? It was there when you were here. It's still here, with me, right? It's just, but it's real. The grind is real, and it's just, sometimes the fans don't see that, but it's just there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, but I mean, think about. We're in New England, so think about all your, your New England Patriots and your Boston Red Sox and all those, the little guys and the Danny Amendolas of the world who was probably not supposed to make it, but did because they worked harder than everybody else.
Exactly.
So as I always use this metaphor, this comparison of like us regular people, us non-professional athletes, non-Gulls players who were gifted with great skill on the field. We have to, if you want to become the next level in your professional career, if you want to be the GMs, the CEOs, the guys on ESPN that you see that that Adam Schefter and everybody's talking about, I mean, you got to put in extra work.
Exactly.
You got to put in, just like the players who are, the highest level players, the Tom Brady's of the world who outworked everybody, had great skill, but outworked everybody, was not going to let anybody tell him otherwise. That's what you're doing here as a professional. I mean, you're building your resume and you're building your skill set. So, I mean, why would you're not going to be the first one out of the gym.
Right.
Why would you be the first one out of the office?
Yeah.
So that's always how I envision it. And I think you put it very, very well, is you don't want to let the fans down.
Exactly.
You don't want to let the people who are there supporting you, yelling, I gotta give a shout out to Owen and Erin.
Yes.
And the Gulls flock and the Gulls nest over there, that they're there
every single game.
And trust me, there's many others out there, but they are there screaming, yelling. Yep. I don't care if it's their mother's 50th anniversary, their father's anniversary, whatever. They are there. They're going to a Gulls game, rain or shine, screaming their butts off and traveling to away games and things like that. So how can you look into that person's eyes and say, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to give it my all.
Exactly.
So I think that's super important. That was something that is unique-ish to the Gulls. Mm-hmm. But that's something that I really loved about Europe, is like, these people just live for these teams.
Yeah.
They live for it. So the ability to give back and to create that with them was just like a parallel that I saw with Newport, and where you don't get that in many other places in professional sports in America. I mean, you do, maybe SEC football, but those guys are just a different breed down there. But I think it's just, that's one parallel that I saw was very enticing. Yeah,
and I even look at it from the intern side of things, right? Again, whether it's an applicant, whether it's someone who's going to be with us here in the spring into the summer, it's so easy. And this isn't a criticism towards anybody at all.
Drink a lot of Cumby's coffee.
There you go. Shout them out.
Become a sponsor. Cumberland Farms. Sponsor the Gull. American might run on Dunkin', but the Gulls run on Cumby's.
Hell yeah, absolutely. But again, it's not a criticism at all in whatever aspect you want to look at it. But it's easy for interns to come in here and just say, hey, I want to come to Newport, want to get an internship out of the way just because, hey, I need a college credit, needed to graduate, whatever it is. That's a way to do it. Are you going to get the most out of your experience here? Absolutely not. So one of the biggest things I always need to talk to interns about and talk to applicants about, whether they're here for the summer or not, is just, give 110% every day. Because A, you never know who's watching, You're going to have eyes on you all the time, no matter who you think or you don't think is watching. Why not put in 110% every day? Because what happens if someone notices it, right? I look at, my time here in Newport as an intern as a blessing. And, it was a situation where I was fortunate enough to have that hard work rewarded in a sense of, being, brought back and in the position I am today. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yes, you guys are here for the summer. You're going to obviously need this for your professional development. Put it on your resume, get as much out of it as you can, but go above and beyond in everything that you do, because you never know how it's going to work out for you.
Yeah, you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to talk to, who's going to see you, recognize you, and if you're slacking off, then you can't. I mean, how can you, with a straight face, with a just good right mind thinking, ask your boss for a letter of recommendation where you didn't put the time in,
exactly,
where you didn't put the effort in? How can you possibly think that that's it's your time? I mean, you got to use your time wisely, and unfortunately, we don't get a lot of time on here. Time's the only thing that's limited in this world. So, yeah, why wouldn't you try to be the best you could possibly be? Why wouldn't you try to come in here and, not be rude, not be disrespectful to, oh yeah, I'm going to take your job type of thing, but why wouldn't you try to ask, hey, is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else?
Right.
Hey, you see Eric, you see somebody going above and beyond, whether it's Patsos there cutting the grass, or Mark, or somebody, or Donnie, putting that lugging packages back and forth or something. I mean, why wouldn't you ask if that person needs help?
Exactly.
You would do that in your family, right? You wouldn't just let your mom or brother or sister or something go out there and struggle. So you're always going to ask, hey, is there anything else that needs to be done? So it's just, I think it's a human trait. And when you come as an intern, you're doing it for free. So why not get as much out of it as possible? Because these internships really, really, really do help you in the long run.
Absolutely. So obviously staying in line with, the theme of this podcast, right? 25 for 25 years of the Newport Gulls. Mike, you're a part of this Gulls family for as long as the Gulls are going to be around. What does a 25th anniversary for this organization mean to you? And because I look back at something like the 20th anniversary that obviously didn't get enough traction because it was interrupted by COVID. But how special is it that a 25th anniversary is here in Newport?
Yeah, it's a very special thing to think about. I think about my time and each summer and each year that went by as such a wonderful part of my life. I think 25 seasons is remarkable for any organization. What the Gulls have accomplished in those 25 years is nothing short of remarkable and arguably, historic. It would be a good name for it. I think just there's so many lives that have been touched, players, interns, host family, all of it. I think it's just the amount of smiles that have been created over 25 years. I think it's a wonderful achievement and a testament to the gentlemen and ladies and everybody who have put this together. But 25 years is a remarkable achievement as a owner of a business, of a board member of a business. So you got to think back to where that group was 25 years ago,
exactly,
and tip your hats off to them as just running a successful entity as a whole.
Yep.
So that has to be one of the things I think about, because 25 years is difficult. I mean, you're like 25. You're 24. Right?
21.
21. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not even as old as the Gulls.
Exactly. So I mean, yeah, I'm 31. So it's like that's almost all of my life.
Right.
And they've been doing this doing it.
Yeah.
They're not half.
They were in the trenches very early on.
For sure. So I think the longevity is the first thing I can think about.
Yeah.
And then you just think about all the seasons. I mean, I keep looking at this filing cabinet, which I've moved a million times, and it's covered in the calendars of the magnet schedule from years and years and years, and I see 2021 on there with the 20th anniversary one, and you think back to where were you when you were putting that together? Where was I when I was submitting that to Chuck, saying, "Oh, is this correct?" Or submitting that to whoever, Magnet Street, and they still do our magnets, or whoever does our magnets. You just think back and you look at Domino's there. You look at Nicholas. You look at Blue Plate Diner. You look at Carmela's Pizza. You look at all these things and just like brings you down memory lane, and it brings you down to all the great things that you were able to accomplish as part of the organization. And there's so many individuals like you and I, and other interns, and host families, and people who have made an impact because of the Gulls, or who have created stories or still talk about the Gulls, or whatever it may be. So I think that 25 years is a special thing to acknowledge. I think that in our world, I think that in life, a lot of things pass you by. Yeah. They go pretty quickly. We all get older, unfortunately, and we don't take enough time to understand how special and how important some days are. And the holiday season being part of that, the ability to be with family or loved ones, or anybody you're able to spend these special moments with. 25 years, it just signifies, and it allows a group of distinguished men and women, children, anybody to get together and at least take a step back and understand what has transpired in Newport these past 25 years. I know that it's hard to get a group of people from all around the globe into one place. I mean, it's difficult for you now in college, to get together with some people that you maybe knew as a freshman. Yeah. It's hard to see everybody now. Everybody's busy. They got things going on in their life. So I think it's putting together and setting the date now, getting it out there, making sure that people know when, what, who, where, whatever it may be, especially in Newport, is really important, because it allows people that are connected by this one thing, which is the Newport Gulls, to have that shared weekend together, have those shared memories, go down memory lane, know, the same feelings that everybody had, and share some more memories and create some more memories.
Of course. Before we end here, Mike, if there was one message you could reciprocate to the entire Gulls family that you've had the opportunity to touch and be touched by, whether it's our players, it's our coaches, it's our interns, it's our host families, it's our sponsors, whoever it is, what would you say to them for this 25th anniversary coming up, and the alumni reunion weekend coming up in July of July 16th through the 19th?
What would I say? First off, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for welcoming me into this family. Yeah. For giving me a family. I always said that I was, I came up as a college student from Long Island, New York. Newport is a community. The Patzos family, Pavas, the people who, Chris and Denise and Derek, picked me up from the airport yesterday. That's my family. I was just at the doctor's down the street here, and I'm talking to the receptionist about, my granddaughter went to the. So thank you for welcoming me into your family. Would be the first thing I said. Thank you for welcoming me to this amazing community of Newport and Aquidneck Island, and thank you for being supportive of me and what we were doing here. So that would be the first thing I say to everybody of our alumni and anybody who was touched upon the Newport Gulls, or got a call from me or an email, or asked me, or I asked them to do something or help me out with something, because I couldn't have done it without any of you guys. And I think that for anybody who's thinking about coming back or should come back, or I know how much time and effort Chuck, now Eric, his internship group are going to be putting into this this event. It's and because I did it, it would mean a lot to them to come back and be here and enjoy some of the hard work, because even if it's a cocktail reception at this venue, or a playing golf here, or coming to the game and just coming onto the field,
right.
It means so much for the folks who are all putting it together and working this hard, like you said earlier, of doing it for others.
Yep.
If you're a player who played for the team, you might not think of it, but there's people who remember you.
Yep.
There's people who enjoyed what you did for them at summer camp. Host families. There's other host families who might now become a host family because of maybe a conversation you have with them, or see you out on the field and you have a story to tell or something like that. So no, I think that it's a symbol of reward, a symbol of accomplishment, a symbol of integrity too, in a brand that has done so much. And you coming back to Newport for that weekend will be very much appreciated, more than you could probably ever know.
Absolutely.
You don't know, you just don't know what kind of contribution you're making to somebody. And I think the last point to that would be effort. Mm-hmm. It's difficult to come to Newport in the summertime. It's hard. Everybody has their own lives, jobs, children now. Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody, they're taking care of a loved one, whoever it may be, family member. I know how hard it is. I mean, I live in Europe now. Yeah. So it's difficult sometimes to connect with friends and family and love it. And you really find out who your real friends and your real, close people in your circle are. So Eric knows how hard it is. Chuck knows how hard it is for you guys to make that extra. But effort goes such a long way.
Absolutely. Effort
goes such a long way in this game of life.
Yep.
And you don't know, even now, you coming back to Newport, you can make a connection that ends up sparking a business, sparking a relationship, sparking something. You're able to help somebody out through that extra effort. And when you take that extra effort, great things happen.
Absolutely.
When you put the extra oomph into something, and you make that something that's a little bit difficult, something great's going to happen. So I have wonderful expectations for that weekend, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Mike. I appreciate it. So Gulls fans, if there's any alumni out there listening, and we surely hope you are, if you have any questions about the alumni weekend at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to any one of us. You can find our contact information on our Gulls website at newportgulls.com. So please feel free to get back in touch with us, because it would be such a pleasure to see everybody that has made this organization into what it is today and made such an impact on who the Gulls are today. It would be just an absolute blessing to have you all back this summer. Again, that's going to be July 16th through the 19th, our Gulls 25th anniversary and alumni weekend. And Mike, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us today. I appreciate you, obviously coming down and talking with us today.
Of course.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Gulls fans, thanks so much for listening in. Again, this has been the Gulls 25 for 25 podcast, and I can't wait to see you all next week. Thanks, guys.